You find your coffee cup, Mike?
No.
Okay, it's over here.
Looking at all the nuts.
Welcome back to the clock shop. This is Jim with JRCLOCKER on eBay. Let's see what happened at the clock shop this week. Hi everyone, welcome back. The movement has been cleaned for the first time, and we're now just evaluating those bushings we were looking at in the last video. The overall cleanliness and what needs to be done. Okay, let's take a look at these bushings. And yes, as we saw in the first video, now that most of the dirt is out, it's going to need some bushings. I see at least 3 here are going to need to be done on the time side, including the escapement. The strike side doesn't look so bad, which kind of is strange that you can have so much on the time side and almost nothing on the strike side. The ones on the back are not on the back plate are not as bad as the ones on the front plate, but they're still in need of replacement. Here I'm taking a marker and trying to point out the direction of wear. And what I'm thinking is which way is the pivot wearing through the plate. That will help me recenter the hole for the new bushing. The escapement wheel is so bad I have to actually literally do it by hand. The power between the third wheel, fourth, and escapement are so far out that I couldn't get it to move with what I'm doing right there is taking power off, putting power back on. Okay, it's time to move it apart and get a better look at the pivots and so on and so forth, the cleanliness of the movement. Here I want to take a look at the verge and make sure that there's no wear from the constant hitting the teeth of the escapement wheel. And there's really none. It's in very good condition. It looks like I wanted to clean it a little bit, but that's not unusual. So we won't have to make any major repairs to that. I see them sometimes that they get pretty deep grooves in them. Then we try to replace them. If they have a light groove, we'll polish them down. And you just have to make sure that you don't have to polish them too far, because that sets the angle attack off. So right now we're just loosening up, getting ready to take the plate off. Pivots, I'm very concerned about the pivots that were in contact with the bushings that had the extreme wear, because that sometimes can create grooves. So I clean them up. I just kind of, visually inspect them. But to my surprise, all the pivots were in very nice condition. So we'll polish them, but we won't have to do anything major. I do suggest that you always polish your pivots before you start fitting bushings, because it can slightly change the size of the pivot, and that would maybe change the size of the bushing that you need. I was concerned about the pivot on the escapement here, but other than it being a little dirty, it's actually in very good condition. And I can tell you now, because I've filmed this and I'm editing it after I've polished the pivots, they came out really nice. We'll see that later. Again, I do suggest that, and I do this all the time, because this happened to me once, and I learned this once, so you don't make this mistake again. But mark the face up position of this wheel, the count wheel, because if you put it on backwards, it will run backwards. So, and it's a real pain, especially this movement, because this movement is a little bit troublesome. I'll explain it this way. It's troublesome in one way, and not troublesome in another way to put back together. The count wheel actually works really well, and there's not a lot of adjustment that's needed. Once you put it back together. But to get it all back together and have no problems whatsoever, and then accept that you put the count wheel on backwards, and then you have to take it all apart, and you have to take it all apart in order to flip it around. So it's just a little hint for you guys. Now it's time to get ready to clean the clock movement. Again, I'm taking a look at, I'm going to transfer the wear pattern to the back of, and hopefully it doesn't get cleaned off, but if it should still be there. Again, it's a little oily, so it just gives me another look at stuff, and so you can always see the wear, because you can go in and see this original center, and then you can see the wear pattern and take care of it. So we'll start getting the stuff in Again, more visual looks. We got to get these springs off and take a peek at the springs. Here I have my ultrasonic baskets, and this is a small part basket. I'm putting all the small parts in there, which usually includes the little clamp for the count wheel. There it is. I put that in there because it's, believe me, I use a larger ultrasonic for clocks, and you do not want to be fishing in there for a little part that skipped through your basket and is now sitting on the bottom of your cleaner. Anyway, I don't put, you know, strike side on one and time side on the other. I just, they fit, you know. You'll get to a point, you might want to do it as a beginner, but really, I think on several of my videos, I really basically tell you the fast way to figure out everything. Here's the go wheel. That's the calendar part, and then I have the screw for the calendar clamp, or whatever they call it, the ratchet, whatever you want to call it. And I put it inside the small parts basket. Now it's time to check those springs. And yes, they are set, and I will be replacing them. Let's get this stuff to the cleaner. And here we are, my ultrasonic cleaner, which is a digital cleaner with heat. I forget how big actually it is, how many liters or whatever. I know that this company makes a 22-liter version. I don't think this is it. I got this at an auction. I do use an L&R ammoniated clock cleaning solution. I do have another recipe for one, which I should do a video. After 30 minutes and at about 93 degrees, we're done. And there we have it, all cleaned up and ready to go. The new spring sitting over here. Oh, widen that out. A little new spring sitting right here. Everything nice and clean. Pivots have been polished. One day I'm going to do a video just on pivoting, doing the pivots, but they're all really nice looking. I was concerned some of these really bad bushings, and let me show you. I get concerned because oftentimes that one will grind away at the steel and put grooves, but no, they were actually very good. The next video, we're going to be doing bushings, and I'm going to try to do a much more comprehensive video on doing bushings for this clock. But and I'm taking that opportunity because we are going to be using this tool, which is for this bridge. And what we're going to do is, and this one's going to go all the way. Wow, I don't know if I've ever used the highest one, but that will add support for when we're cutting. And that will be next time. Thanks for stopping by, and please like and share. Give me some comments, positive or negative, whichever, and it really helps the channel. And any suggestions that you might have for what I might consider doing in the future. This is the second series in the Ingraham 8-day time and strike calendar movement. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.